"Don't sell me. Sell the horse instead," the boy pleaded, until a stranger bought them both. The barn was loud, until it wasn't. The gavel hovered mid-air. Men in dust-covered hats leaned forward. One more bid and the old mare would be gone, put down or pulled apart. She stood trembling in the sawdust, ribs showing, eyes dull. Then a voice, cracked and too small for the space, cut through everything. "Don't sell me. Sell the horse instead." It wasn't a joke. The crowd turned. A boy, barefoot, thin as a fence post. His shirt torn open at the collar, his wrist cuffed to the mare's stall like he belonged to her. The sheriff didn't move. His thumb hovered near his belt. The preacher lowered his hat over his face. The governor's sister, satin gloves and sharp eyes, leaned forward like she smelled blood. The auctioneer cleared his throat. "That boy part of the lot?" Nobody answered. The boy stepped forward, dragging the chain. His hand never left the mare's mane. "She's sick, but she remembers me." The sheriff narrowed his eyes. "You got a name, son?" The boy didn't blink. "Not anymore." Someone in the back chuckled. Then silence again. The mare shifted. One leg gave out. The boy steadied her. "I can go." "Just leave her be." A man near the pen spit tobacco. "Ain't how things work, kid." The boy's lip quivered. He gripped the reins tighter. "She was my mama's. She walked me home once when no one else did." Murmurs rose. A few folks stepped back like they'd touched something hot. The governor's sister spoke. "This is irregular." The sheriff nodded. "So's life." Then a woman's voice from the back, calm, northern maybe. "I'll take them both." Heads turned again. She stood straight. At low, clothes clean. Too clean. Boots unscuffed. She looked like she hadn't tasted dirt in a decade. The sheriff stepped forward. "Lady, this ain't your fight." She didn't look at him. "I didn't come to fight." The boy looked up wary. She looked at him like she'd seen him before in a dream. "Sold," the auctioneer said. The gavel slammed. The barn cracked open with noise. The boy flinched. The stranger didn't. The paper shook as she signed it. Not from fear. Just the way her body moved now, like something inside was always bracing. The sheriff watched her hand. "This ain't a rescue mission, ma'am." She didn't look up. "Didn't say it was." The boy stood still, cuff gone, eyes down. "You got a name?" she asked. He shrugged. "Whichever one they gave me last." The sheriff snorted. "You'll regret this." She handed him the receipt. "I already regret other things." They walked from the barn in silence. The mare limped behind them. Folks parted, like they were carrying something contagious. At the inn, the keeper said nothing, just handed her a rusted key. "Room upstairs. One bed." She sat the boy in a chair. He didn't take his boots off. She kneeled, tugged at the laces. "I can do it. I know." His feet were raw, cracked. One toenail black. She filled a basin, poured warm water, wiped gently. He didn't speak. "You sleep sitting up often?" He blinked. "Safer that way." She nodded. The scars down his back were old, some deep, some fresh. She didn't ask. Later, when he finally leaned back and dozed off, she reached into her coat. A letter. Worn soft, opened too many times. The ink had bled in the corners. Only one phrase still clear. "Come home," written again and again. Page after page. Her hand clutched the bottom of it. The boy stirred. She folded it slow, careful not to wake him. Slipped it into her boot. She sat by the window. Watched the darkness hold the road still. Behind her, the boy twitched in his sleep, whispering something. She didn't turn. She closed her eyes. For a moment, she saw another boy. Years ago. Same scars. Same silence. This one, though, this one had a chance, maybe. Morning pressed slow against the glass. Below, hooves scraped the dirt. The mare was still alive, barely. The stranger opened her eyes. She didn't move. Didn't speak, she just waited. The mare shook as she tied her to the front post. Flies swarmed the wounds along her ribs. The boy stood still beside her, hand tight on the stranger's coat. "Why'd we come here?" She didn't look at him. To give something back. The gate creaked. The estate hadn't changed. Not the gravel, not the silence. Inside, the air turned stiff. Velvet curtains sealed the light out. A dog barked once from somewhere deeper in the house. Then nothing. Boots clicked on tile. The governor's sister stepped from the shadows, dressed sharp, lips tight. "Well, didn't think you'd have the gall to show your face." The stranger stood straight. Didn't think you'd chain children to livestock. Wasn't my chain. You didn't cut it either. The woman walked slow around them, eyes stopping on the boy. That's your boy. Wasn't, but he is now. She didn't answer. They stood beneath a wide painting. A man with a jaw like carved stone stared out above the fireplace. Her father, hung there by the governor years ago. The sister smiled without warmth. You always did bring ghosts with you. Just bringing back what's yours. We don't take strays, you took everything else. The sister nodded toward the boy. He speak? Enough, he remember. More than he should. Silence filled the room. Then the dog growled again, low and long. The boy stepped back. I don't like it here. Neither do I. The governor's sister's voice dropped. Careful. This place remembers. So do I. She turned to leave. The boy followed. The door groaned open behind them. Outside, the mare let out a sound like a cough, then dropped. The boy screamed. She ran, kneeling beside the animal, hand to its chest. Nothing. The estate gate slammed shut behind them. She looked up. No wind, no hands. Just the gate closing itself. The boy stared. She pulled him close. We're done here. He didn't look away. Is she dead? Yes. They stood, dust rising, and behind them, from inside the house, the dog barked again, twice. She was bent over the mare's body, brushing flies from its eyes. Flies didn't care if a thing was loved. When she looked up, the boy was gone. She stood fast, scanned the path, and saw a small shape moving behind the chapel. She followed. He walked slowly, barefoot, past the whitewashed boards, past the crooked fence. The church loomed quietly behind him. He didn't look back. He stopped at the old stone well, covered in moss, sealed with a rotted wood cap half caved in. She stepped closer. That's not a place to play. I'm not playing. What is it? I felt something. She moved beside him. His eyes were fixed on the rim. There's a name, he whispered. She looked down. It was carved rough, jagged, faded but clear. His name, the same one he gave her. She touched the letters. You sure that's yours? He nodded once. It was one of them. What did you see? He pointed down into the dark. She pulled back the board. The smell came first. Old earth, damp stone. Something else. She picked up a small rock, dropped it in. They listened. No splash, no echo. Then a voice. Barely a whisper. Come home. She stepped back fast. The boy's lips trembled. Did you hear that? Yes. Was it her? I don't know. They stared down into nothing. The sun felt weaker. A breeze lifted dead leaves. A bell rang once from the chapel steeple. She turned slow. There's no bell in that church, she said. The boy didn't answer. Behind them, a shadow moved past the stained glass. Neither of them breathed. The well stayed open. Watching, they dug the hole with a rusted spade and a bent shovel. The ground was clay and stone. The boy didn't speak. His hands bled. She didn't stop him. By dawn, the sun had barely cracked the hills when they lowered the mare in, her legs stiff. Eyes shut. The boy stood over the grave, jaw locked. She was the last thing left that knew me before. She paused. Before what? He didn't look up. Before they sold me the first time. She froze. His voice dropped. First town did it quiet. Just a slip of paper. Second time was a trade. Third, I don't remember much. Fourth, I stopped counting. She swallowed hard. How many times? He held up 4 fingers, then raised a 5th, including you. She stepped back. Didn't speak. He looked at her now. But you ain't like them. You looked at the horse first. The shovel slipped from her hand. They stared at the mound of dirt. The wind picked up. Thunder rolled somewhere distant. She crouched, started pushing the dirt in with her bare hands. The boy knelt beside her. They worked slow. The soil turned dark, thicker. She paused, lifted her hands. Red streaked her palms. She blinked. It's bleeding. He stared. That's not the mare. The dirt bubbled. Not water, not mud, something deeper, older. She pulled him back fast. They stood at the edge. The grave still rising, he whispered. You feel it too? Yes. She wiped her hands on her coat. It's smeared. She didn't know whose blood it was. The boy took her hand anyway. They turned from the grave. Behind them, the wind stopped, but the red kept rising. She didn't tell the boy she was leaving. Just saddled the mule and rode out at first light. The governor stood on his porch, hands folded, eyes sharp. Backtracking won't fix it. She didn't stop. Place is gone, he called. Ain't nothing left but ghosts. She kept riding. The road curled mean through dry hills. When the house came into view, she almost didn't see it. Vines wrapped the bones of it. Windows gone. Roof caved like a skull. She stepped through the broken frame. Dust shifted. She didn't speak his name. Inside, the hearth still stood. Scorched paper rested in a black pile. She crouched, fingers sifting through ash. Underneath, stone scraped. A hollow sound. She pried the board up. A box. Metal rusted shut. She broke it with a rock. Inside, letters. Dozens, maybe more. All addressed to her. None opened. Her name in his hand, faded. She flipped through them fast, then froze. One sat on top, newer, ink still dark, still warm. She opened it. 7 words. He's mine. You're just the last one to carry him. Her fingers went numb. She let it fall. It didn't touch the floor. It caught fire mid-air, no flame. Just vanished in red light. She stepped back, breathing hard. The box shut itself. The ashes rose slightly. The air turned thick, then a sound behind. As she turned, the boy stood in the doorway, barefoot, silent, watching. She didn't move, neither did he. The letters stayed in the box, but one word, whispered from somewhere deep in the walls. Mine, and this time, it didn't sound like her father. He stood in the doorway, light behind him. She didn't speak. He stepped in quiet, looked at the letters, then her. Am I yours now? She didn't answer. Instead, do you want to be? He stared. Only if I can leave. You can. He hesitated. You mean it? I do. He looked at the floor. Then I don't know. She stepped closer. Before you decide, I want to give you something. Don't want nothing. It's not a thing. He didn't move. It's a name. He blinked. I already got 5. This one's different, he frowned. Will it hurt? She knelt. Not like being sold. He stood still, breathing rough. She leaned close, whispered it slow. He flinched. What's it mean? Hope. Hope for what? For whatever comes next. He looked past her. At the burned walls, he whispered it back. The name, said it again, testing how it fit. It didn't taste like the others. He said it louder, smiled. Barely, she stood. You don't owe me now, she said. I didn't before either, she nodded. You're right. He stepped past her. Out the door. She followed. They walked in silence to the edge of the field. The grave was still there. Dirt cracked. He knelt beside it. Took a sharp stone from the fence line, carved the name slow into the wood marker, next to the mare's. His hand bled a little. He didn't stop. She waited. He stood, wiped the sweat from his neck. That's mine now. Yes, she said. The wind picked up. He didn't flinch this time, just turned, steady, and walked back with her. The fire snapped low in the grate. Smoke curled lazy toward the cracked chimney. She stirred the coals with a stick, eyes on the embers. He sat cross-legged on the floor, hands resting on his knees. Why'd you really come back? She didn't answer at first. Just kept poking the fire. I needed to bury someone, she said. But I didn't know who yet, he shifted. And now? She met his eyes. Now I think I came to bury my father. But I found you instead. He was quiet. Was he bad? She nodded. He was the man who chained me first. His brows pinched. Then he chained you. And the governor made sure we all forgot. He looked toward the window. Outside, the night pressed against the glass. He turned back. What was your name before? She hesitated. He waited. She spoke it soft. The same name he carved on the grave. His eyes widened. You picked mine? No, you picked mine. They sat in silence. The wind outside had stopped. The well didn't whisper anymore. He poked the fire now. So what do we do? She leaned back in the chair. We leave. Where? Don't matter, he nodded. Want to leave? Do you? He thought. Yeah, she stood. But let's ride slow, he said. She'd want that. She would. He stood with her. They packed quiet. Took only what fit in a sack. By dawn, they were already saddled. He looked back at the town. Will they care? No. Will they come? No. Behind them, a thin trail of smoke twisted into the sky. She didn't watch it burn. The governor's estate went quiet as the fire took hold. They rode on. No one followed, not even the past.